kids out there in YouTube world. Patty Dooley here with Tupperware. The 4th of July is fixing to come up, and I don't know, it's just a wonderful time of year, our Independence Day that we celebrate and everything. So I thought, hey, I really want to do a Jello recipe. And I haven't done a Jello recipe on here using our Jello mold, so I thought I would do one today. Now I found one that is a cherry Coke Jello recipe. I don't do much Coca-Cola, I should say, but I do use Sprite. So what the Sprite's going to do is give that bubbly to the Jello. And if you haven't used our Jello molds, I love these things. I remember them as a kid, my mom making Jello and everything, and I just thought it was the most awesome thing. I must tell a little story while I'm doing this about my grandmother when I was a kid. She used to tell us if we acted up or something like that, we got too rowdy, she'd say, "Did you know I'm a witch?" And as being a little kid, kind of freak out, say, "Oh God, no." She says, "I have an eye in the back of my head and I see everything you're doing." And so, I thought, hey, could this be real? So my grandmother, when we were kids growing up, she always had Jello, and she always had fruit in the Jello. So when I was at her house one day, she had made Jello in a Jello mold, and I noticed that the fruit was floating in the Jello. And I thought to myself, oh my God, Grandma is a witch because she made the fruit float in the Jello. I know. But when you're a little kid and things like that, you think, I don't know, all kinds of thoughts go through your head. It wasn't until I was older that my mom was doing Jello and I was watching her and she had put fruit cocktail in it. And then I realized that, okay, my grandmother's not really a witch because the fruit cocktail will float in the Jello. But for the longest time, I thought my grandmother was a witch because she made the fruit float in the Jello. So that's a free story for you today. But anyway, we're going to do Jello in the Tupperware Jello mold. If you have never had one of these, I'll absolutely love these things. They're easy to pop apart to clean. This part up here will come off just like this. But I will tell you, when you put it back on, really make sure that it's sealed. Because I did not do that one time and Jello ran out the bottom. So I always put the seal on and then I push down on the counter to make sure that that seal is locked in there and ready to go. So like I said, this particular recipe calls for cherry Jello and Coke. So you're going to put 1 cup of boiling water, and I use the micro pitchers here to boil my water. And as always, make sure you open away from you so the steam won't hurt you. And we're going to drop in let's see, this is a 3-ounce package of cherry Jello. We're going to put that in there. And then we're going to take the 1 cup of water, boiling water, pour that in and dissolve it. And make sure it's all dissolved in there. And I'm just using one of my Fasta bowls to mix this in. But Jello is like one of the most fun things, I think, personally, for kids, because you can add fruits to it. You can do so much to Jello, so many different flavors. I want to do one that's lemon lime, and do it with the Sprite and do some tropical fruits in it. I think that's going to be awesome. So I may make another one. Who knows? But I love Jello. And like I said, my mom and my grandmother used to make them when we were kids growing up. And to us, it was always a treat to get that spray ready whip stuff, Cool Whip stuff. I thought that was the most ingenious thing. I don't know. I guess I was an odd child growing up because little things like that would just fascinate me. But I've got the Jello. It's all mixed in there now. So we're going to pour in 1 cup of Sprite. And then we're going to mix that around. So instead of water, and it's going to foam up a little bit when you put that in there, we're going to just mix that around. Now this Jello is going to take a couple of steps to get it to the finished product. Because right now you don't want to put the fruit in because it would just really settle at the bottom. So what we're going to do is we are going to put the Jello off in the mold. I'm just going to pour that in there. And I'm going to put the lid on this and set it off in the fridge to let it cool. In about 30 minutes I'll go back, I'll stir it, and I'm burping that lid right there. I'll stir it, and so as it's cooling it will gel up some. I don't want it to set to get firm, but I want it to be gelled, and then we'll go back and add the fruit in it. But before I do that in the fridge, you can put crushed pineapple. I would say let it drain because you don't want a whole lot of extra liquid in your Jello to keep it from getting hard. So I'm going to take, I had a can of chunk pineapple, really wanted crushed, but I just didn't have any, so you kind of improvise. So I'm putting this in here, and I'm just going to chop down the pineapple, and my gosh, it only took me, what, a couple of pulls there. And now I'm going to add a can of maraschino cherries, or jar, and I did drain those, and I'm going to put those in here, and then chop these down. Now I guess if you don't mind using Coke, you know, I don't because of caffeine. I'm not doing that much caffeine. So for me, you know, I thought, well, I'll just use the Sprite. So we've got this in here all chopped up. But if you want to use canned Coke, you know, you can. So you can see just those few little pulls right there. It's already chopped that up. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put this in the fridge, and about 30 minutes from now I'm going to check it, stir it, see how much it's cooled down, and then if it's cooled enough, then we'll come back and I'll show you putting the fruit in and then put it back in the fridge. So you guys stay tuned. We will be back in just a blink of an eye. Okay, we're back. Actually, I started at 30 minutes and then I let it go, oh, maybe another 30 minutes after that, so close to maybe 45 minutes to an hour after I stirred it. You can see it is gelled, but it's not solid. So what we're going to do from here is we're going to spoon in our chopped maraschino cherries and our pineapple, and we're just going to stir that in, and then we're going to put the top on this and let it finish setting up. And whenever it's done, I will unveil the Jello to you. We've got all that in there, and we're just taking a spoon and going to stir it around in it. So you want to get all that goodness and stuff just stirred around in here. Break it up. And I'm going to say that you could probably double this recipe. I don't know that I would double the fruit, because for this right here it's going to be quite a bit of fruit. But as far as the Jello itself, you could probably double that, and the mold would hold it quite well. It should. I put 2 packs of Jello mix in here before, just plain Jello. But excuse me. We have got this all stirred in there now, and we will just put the top on. You can see that, maybe you can see that there. We will put that on, put the top on, and let this sit in the fridge until it is completely finished gelling. Making sure I'm getting in the little crevices here. Getting all that good fruit everywhere. So, like I said, I'm going to put the fruit, I'm going to put the top on this, set it back in the fridge, and when it's done, I will be back to show you what the finished product looks like. So, stay tuned. I'll be right back. Bye. Okay, it's been a few hours. The Jello's been in the refrigerator. I'm hoping I let it set long enough to unmold and it doesn't turn out to a blob. But we're going to try to unmold this and see how it turned out. We're going to take the top off and we're going to put a plate. Now you could use the cake server or something like that on there if you wanted to. And I'm going to start to unloose this here, and it's already dropping from the mold. Like I said, I hope I let it set long enough. Oh, look at there. And we have Jello. Is that cool or what? I probably could have let it set a little bit longer, but you know, when you're anxious to dive into something, you just can't wait. Now, like I said before, you could probably double this recipe. I don't know that I would so much double the fruit, but I would double the Jello so you have a nice thicker Jello. Put you some whipped cream right here in the middle, some little cherries on top, and you are good to go for the holidays. Really good for 4th of July would be add some blueberries to it, you know, so that you got that red, white, blue going on for the holidays. Christmas would be great to do a cranberry salad in here. I absolutely love cranberry salad. Maybe around the holidays I will do another video on doing one of those. You could do this for kids' parties, all kinds of events, you know, just fun for the family. Kids really love it, and everybody enjoys the Jello. So I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. If you have some Jello recipes that you'd like for me to try and do a video on, just let me know. I'll get the recipe and try it out and do a video and let you see how it goes. So if at any time you are looking for the current catalog and brochure, you can always comment. Just let me know. You can email me at pattydooley@hotmail.com. I'll be glad to get with you and get a catalog to you. If you're looking to book a Tupperware party with me, I would love to come to your home and do one if you live local. And if you don't, let's hook up on Facebook and do an online party. Simple, fast, easy to do a Rockin' Plastic Diva Tupperware party with me online. You can catch me on Facebook at facebook.com/TWPattyDooley, and I'll be glad to talk with you. So you guys have a great day and have a great holiday, and I will be bringing you more recipes soon. Bye-bye.